Hi there, my name is Nelson. I want to tell you a story about how I lived in the mountains for 30 days to lose 100 kg. I had very big goals. At the time, it seemed to me that they were exorbitant, unbearable. I will tell you everything in order while you listen and watch. I will not tell you how I got into this life, because it happened gradually. It all started when I was a teenager. I was just eating and eating. I couldn't stop. When I was 16 years old, I already weighed 90 kgs. It was hard for me to walk, but since I could still get to McDonald's on my own and order 2 of everything there, I ate. I don't know why it was like that, but I felt hungry every day. What did my parents tell me? Nothing. They weren't around. They left when I was 13 years old, and I've been on my own ever since. Well, they think my Uncle Ben is looking after me, but he doesn't give a damn what's wrong with me if I'm fed or sick. He comes every 2 months to report to my parents. This was our deal. I said he was looking out for me, not that he wasn't poisoning my life. Both of us were fine with that. At first, I partied hard with my friends at my house. But after a few months, when most of the dishes were broken and the appliances were broken too, I realized it was time to call it a day. Of course, a lot of the guys resented me and stopped communicating. Well, like a lot, all of them. So I stayed alone, went to school, did my homework somehow. I couldn't cook, the internet didn't help, so I started ordering food from home. Then I realized that it was really expensive. My parents helped my uncle and me a lot, but in reality, I got money and spent it on stuff like that. And one day, I went and just brought a couple of burgers and realized that it was fast, tasty, nourishing, and most importantly, no need to wash the dishes. And I started going there every night. Then, right after school, and somehow I started eating it for breakfast as well. After a year, everyone started telling me that I had put on a lot, but I didn't care. It's not like they were my friends and I had to listen to their opinions. So I lived my life the way I did, and my uncle didn't even notice the change in me. So 3 years passed, and then 4 more, and then I turned 21. Yes, it's a very impressive date. I didn't realize how my high school years had passed, the graduation, which I didn't go to, and the college initiation, which I didn't get into. Yeah, I didn't pass my exams, and I didn't try hard enough. I realized I didn't like anything. I have money, a house, food. I loves her, and she loves me. That's it. And I only woke up when I woke up one morning and couldn't get out of bed. I had a closet with a big mirror in front of my bed. I looked at myself, and it felt like I was seeing myself for the first time. Instead of a human body in the reflection, there was a huge chunk of skin. An ugly creature with a small head, a huge belly, folds, arms, and legs filled the whole room. When did I stop fitting in the mirror? I asked myself. And I was scared, disgusted, and in pain. As a result, I went up to my scales, which showed a good 180 kilograms. Then I began to panic. I didn't know where to go, who to call, and what to do. And just as conveniently, my mother called. "Hello, my son. How are you? What have you been doing?" "Hi, Mum. I'm fine. How are you? How's Dad? What are you doing?" "We are good. We just came from work. Yesterday, we celebrated Dad's birthday." "Oh, shit. Sorry. I forgot." "It's okay. Dad's not offended. You must have been busy." "Yeah, eating alone as always," I thought to myself. "Oh, yeah. I've been a little busy with work." "Work? Did you get a job? You don't have enough money? Is everything okay?" Yes. Do not worry. Everything's fine. It's just a part-time job. I fix computers with my friend." "Oh, great. Look, don't overdo it. Come on. I love you. Bye." "Bye, Mum." I myself felt disgusted by the lies. I screamed out to the whole apartment, "You fat pig!" I smashed the phone receiver, then went into the kitchen and started smashing the rest of the dishes. Then I threw all the chips, cookies, and candy in the trash. I cried bitterly. Then I calmed down and decided to run and not eat at all. I wanted to lose weight as quickly as possible. I went out in a t-shirt even though it was already chilly in autumn, but my fat kept me warm. I ran for about 2 meters and was sweating. People walking by were laughing, calling me names. Someone even wanted to trip me up, but failed. He fell and I almost crushed him when I fell on him. Hey man, are you breathing at all?" Get off me!" When I got up, he took a deep breath and barely moved his fingers and toes. How much do you weigh? A lot. That's a hell of a lot. Why did you trip me up? Are you crazy? I'm not suicidal. My earpiece rolled under your feet and I was afraid you'd crush it. I crushed it? Almost me, but the earpiece seems to be intact. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Look, I'm fat. Yeah, you're so fucking fat. Thanks for the support. What am I, your mother, to support you? I'm not the one who puts spoons of food in you. You're right. Okay, I'll go. Go where? For a run. Don't be ridiculous. You can't lose weight like that. What do you need for that? You already have everything. The main tool here is desperation. I'll help you. I had so many questions, but this dude didn't say much afterwards. He just came to my house, got me a sleeping bag, water, and nothing else. I closed the house and went with him. We drove somewhere far away in his car. The iron grunted under my weight, but it kept going. After a couple of hours, we were high up in the mountains. The dude laid out his tent for me, then showed me where the water was, what berries were dangerous to my health. I didn't understand what was going on, and then he tells me that there are wild animals here and they are especially hungry at night. And then he was like, I'll come and get you in 30 days. And he took off. What? What the fuck? Hey, where are you? What's your name anyway? What the fuck did you leave me here for? I don't remember anything. Put me back where I belong. Do you hear me? But he was already gone, and I couldn't run because of my weight. I just lay down in the tent and fell asleep there. Woke up from the cold, hunger, looked out, and saw that it was already night outside. I was scared and had no idea what to do. And then I heard some sounds. I think they were jackals. They came closer and closer and closer. Ah! I yelled like a maniac and ran as fast as I could, leaving everything behind. Miraculously, I managed to climb a tree in seconds, where I sat all night. The hysteria lasted for about a week, and then I realized that I would not find a way out, and I will not get out and will die if I don't move. Of course, I ate berries and didn't remember which of them were poisonous, until a couple of times when I was poisoned to the point of vomiting. And then I adapted, slept in the trees, found edible leaves, and even made a fire. Then I remembered there was drinking water nearby and moved there. Every night there was some kind of ordeal for me with birds, even snakes and beasts. But I learned to sleep quickly, to eat, to find food, to find a bed for the night, and even to sleep sitting up. I felt like a fucking savage. The month lasted an eternity, and all I wanted to do was sleep on a soft bed and take a warm shower. Yeah, I stopped counting the days after the 10th, mentally crushing my weight on the guy who left me here. I was looking for a way out, but I couldn't find it. Everywhere I went, there was a dead end, like I was in some wild ring under the open space. I had a lot of fears, but at the same time, strength and energy. It wasn't as hard for me to run. I got more stamina. I slept better. My shortness of breath went away. Because of the piles of clothes and rags on my body, I didn't even notice the main thing, that my stomach was going. Then one day, when I was trying to catch fish for lunch, this same dude came up behind me. When I saw him, I wanted to kill him. I started chasing him and almost caught him 3 times. He ran towards his car. I already swung and then suddenly noticed my reflection on the windshield. Is that me? That's you, minus 100 kilos at least, by the look of it. Is that so? What? When did I? You lost weight every day. Sorry for being radical. You just needed help, and I helped. I too weighed 250 pounds 2 years ago, and now I max out at 87. I've been living in the same conditions as you, and I was thrown in the same way once. I still don't know his name, by the way, and I won't tell you mine. Let's go home. In a month, I came to my senses. I completely renovated the house, bought new dishes, new rugs, bedding, and even some furniture. I did a global cleaning, and not only in the house, but also in my head. Of course, I exercised and I started to eat right. And then I went for a run in the morning, and I saw a fat dude in front of me. Without thinking too much, I tripped him up.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica. I'm 18 years old. I want to tell you my thick story. This is a fairly common problem. I weigh more than 90 kilograms. To be honest, it is difficult for me to talk about it now, and it is unpleasant to remember. But I still want to tell you about all this, because maybe then someone will think about whether they correctly characterize their life positions. I've been fat all my life, from childhood. I was born plump and round-cheeked and all. But if at the beginning it still touches the environment, the older you get, the harsher and tougher the world treats you. For girls, I believe in general, much higher requirements for external beauty than for men. This is how it's happened historically. The first time I encountered the problem that #I am not like others was when I was probably not even 3 years old. I went to a dance class at the time, and I didn't understand why some of the kids avoided me until the scorn and mockery came out in the open. And it started, I won't say that every day, but for my characteristic, I got it. Every time I tried to make friends there, the guys would say something like, "Don't be friends with her, she's fat." Can you imagine? I was only 3 years old. I still remember. Children's grievances are very difficult to forget. I don't remember if I was really fat, but I stood out for sure. There were, of course, good guys, but they were more than overlaid by those who made me remember nothing good from my childhood. But despite this, I still loved to dance. Even if I was alone sometimes, but at the moment of dancing, I forgot all the problems and did not feel plump, fluttered like a butterfly. At school, of course, the bullying did not stop, but on the contrary, became even stronger. I tried not to pay attention to them and not give them special significance. Children, I can tell you, can be very cruel sometimes. Fat lady, a barrel, a cow. What you will not hear in your address at school. I have noticed that people do not like those who stand out or somehow separate from the team. If you somehow separate, then your most noticeable feature is turned into a flaw that needs to be mocked. Smart nerd, glasses bespectacled, full fat, thin worm, etc. Besides, I didn't have any friends. I tried everything to lose weight. I went to fitness halls, followed different diets, and starved myself. But all came up empty. Because everyone treats me like this. I was kind of depressed all the time. It was only when I was eating that I could cheer myself up a little. Apparently, everything would have continued like this if I hadn't had one situation happen to me. After graduation, we started preparing for graduation. How are we? Everyone was preparing, and I just watched from the sidelines. And at that moment, the prom was supposed to be held. I loved 2 things, dancing and eating. But when we were sharing in pairs, I came across a very thin and tall guy named Dave. The others simply didn't want to, and he had no choice but to agree. But there was a problem. There was an element in the dance where the guys have to lift the partner and spin, and Dave wouldn't have been able to lift me or even put his arms around me. But I couldn't miss it, and I gave my word that no matter what, I would lose weight by the ball. I had 2 months to do it. I started making a strict diet plan, removed all high-calorie meals from the diet, and signed up for fitness. It was supposed to work out, but it was very stressful for my body. This plan was only enough for a day. The next day, I couldn't resist eating a bun. I guess I'm not strong enough to bear it, or I didn't want it that much. Already desperate, I just decided to go to a secret meeting of anonymous fatties, thinking that maybe there I will find some comfort for myself. I had never been to such meetings before, and I was wondering what stories someone had. Basically, everyone has the same problems. Everyone told me what they had to go through because of this, so to speak, feature. And I'm not the only one. At the meeting, I met a happy, sweet girl named Heather. Got into conversation, and I found out that we have a lot of similarities. She was also very complex because of her excess weight, tried various methods of weight loss, but all in vain. But at these meetings, she realized that being overweight is not a problem. She explained that beauty can be different, and it is not necessary to be thin. We had a nice chat, and I told her my upcoming situation, to which she replied that there is a good and unusual solution to my problem. And here is graduation day. Heather helped me pack, picked up an insanely beautiful dress, and made a stunning makeup. I admit I didn't expect to look like this myself. Everyone in school froze in surprise at the sight of me. In their eyes, I saw that they were amazed at my appearance. It gave me confidence, and I wasn't as shy as I used to be. During the dance, on the advice of my new friend Heather, on the element when guys would lift their partners in their arms, I picked up Dave instead. Everyone laughed at this moment, but it was no longer a mocking laugh, but a laugh of admiration. We even received an award for this number as the most creative dance. I will never forget that night, because that's when I realized that you don't have to be thin to be beautiful, and excess weight is not a problem. The main thing is who you are on the inside, not the outside. Friends, if you liked my story, share it with others. Maybe for someone, this video will be a reason to change their thinking.